All right, everyone, welcome to the recap of what was a truly wild Week 13 in the TFFL. With just 1 week left in the regular season, the entire playoff picture has been thrown into absolute chaos. Let's get into it. Okay, so to really understand the madness in our league, you kind of have to start with what happened across the entire NFL, because, man, that really set the stage for everything that went down. And look, this single line from the weekly recap, it just nails it. That's not an exaggeration, that's just a simple fact of what we all saw this past weekend. And we're not just talking about 1 or 2 games here. No way. The unpredictability was everywhere. You had the Cowboys shocking the Chiefs, the Bears taking down a struggling Eagles team. Even the Panthers beat the Rams. This league-wide craziness was the perfect setup for our own TFL drama. So, how did all that chaos filter down and shake up our league? Well, let me tell you, it completely reshuffled our TFL standings. The shockwaves were felt in pretty much every single matchup. There were definitely a few stunners, but there was one matchup in particular that sent ripples through the entire league, and it might have changed the fate of multiple playoff contenders. For the first time all year, Doug became the team of the week by playing the ultimate spoiler against Rory. You just know he is enjoying this massive upset more than any other accomplishment he's had all season. And this right here, this just perfectly captures the screw factor Rory must be feeling. I mean, think about it. Scoring 125 points wins you the week almost every single time, just not this week. And that one loss puts his entire playoff run in a really tough spot. But that wasn't the only big news. Jim beat Avery, continuing this incredible, improbable run from being the league's worst team to a legit playoff contender. And at the same time, James went ahead and officially clinched the Central, and Jeff took home the West Division title. So, congrats to them. So, what's the bottom line here? Well, all these results have created an unbelievably complex, but also incredibly exciting playoff picture as we head into the final week. Seriously, almost nothing is settled. Okay, so let's break down exactly what's on the line for everybody. We're talking division titles, we're talking about the #1 seed, and of course, a wildcard free-for-all that is still completely up in the air. So first, just take a look at the current landscape. You've got James and Jeff sitting there at the top, but right below them, look at that. It is a massive logjam of teams all fighting for those last few spots. Now, the race for that #1 seed and that all-important first-round bye, it's down to just 2 teams. James and Jeff. Jeremy, even after a great season, just can't get there because of an earlier tiebreaker. So it all comes down to what happens in Week 14. The East Division title, well, that's a little more straightforward. It's basically a 2-horse race between Christian and Jeremy. If Christian wins and Jeremy loses, Christian gets the crown. Any other result and Jeremy is your division champ. Simple as that. But now we get to the most complicated part of this whole puzzle, the wild card spots. And believe me, this is where things get truly, truly chaotic. The key to unlocking this whole crazy mess, it all starts with this one massive head-to-head game between Rory and Randy. The outcome of this single matchup could set off a chain reaction across the entire league. So let's just play this out for a second. Let's say Randy wins. If that happens, he gets the head-to-head tiebreaker advantage over Rory. And that's when the dominoes really start to fall for everybody else. Because that result, combined with potential wins from Avery, Steve, and Jim, could trigger a massive 5-way tie for the final 3 spots. Can you even imagine that? 5 teams, all with the same record, forcing what's being called one hell of a tiebreaker nightmare just to figure out who gets in. So as we head into the final week of the regular season, the stakes could not possibly be higher for almost every single team in this league. I mean, to put it simply, everything is still to play for. The #1 seed, a division title, and those final precious wildcard spots, it's all going to be decided this week, in Week 14. And this quote really just says it all. For the #1 seed to still be up for grabs, along with everything else we've talked about, that's basically historic. This is a truly unprecedented level of drama heading into the final week. So, with nearly every single game having major implications on the final standings, there's really only one question left to ask. This is what fantasy football is all about. Good luck to everyone.